Hey, welcome back, everybody. As always, you are listening to, or if you're watching on YouTube, Mastering Janitorial. I am your host, Peter Boland, and today we're going to be talking about how to get your first million in commercial cleaning contracts. Okay, so, sorry, let me play with this mic here and make sure I got a good angle for you guys. Now, let's talk about it, okay? Getting to your first million. So the average janitorial business in North America does $17,000 a month in sales. So these are just statistics that I looked up online. So $17,000 in sales is roughly about 15 to 20 contracts. Okay. Not a lot. You're one bad month away from losing everything. A lot of these places are also subcontracts. Okay. So one person actually has the contract, and then they divvy them out to other people, but they're counting multiple people having that contract. Okay. So if you're a subcontractor and you have 50 contracts, or let's say you have 20 contracts, because you're just doing the average 17 grand a month, but all of your contracts are under one person, you are in big trouble. Okay. Big trouble. Because if that one person decides to take away your buildings, goes out of business, loses some of those clients, that means you're down to zero. So you really have one client. So I try to tell everybody all the time, the biggest threat, if you're a subcontractor and you have 20 contracts, but it's only under one company, you are in fear all the time because next month could be your last month in business. Okay. But back to what I was talking about, which is how to get to your first million in commercial cleaning contracts. I'm not going to go over all the usual stuff that other places tell you, which is one, subcontract, two, go on to bidding websites online or look for tenders. I'm not going to say all that stuff because I built my business without using any of that stuff. We don't subcontract out. We don't tender out. We don't go into bidding wars for hospitals or anything like that. We 110% do it the way the billion-dollar companies do it. Okay, we build out a team. Okay, and then we sell. And then we have a service department. So the first thing you're going to have to do, if you want to do this, get to $1 million in commercial cleaning contracts, I'm going to put a year stipulation on this. 1 year. If you want to do it in 1 year, you're starting off at $0, and you're going to $1 million within 12 months, 365 days. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to commit and go all in 110% without any doubt whatsoever. You are going to have to all in, burn the bridges down. There will be other stuff in your life, your wife, your kids, your friends, maybe you're eating, whatever it is going to suffer for a year because what you're going to be doing is working 16 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. Maybe you can get away with 6, but it is going to be so grueling and so taxing on you because it is so much work. So the first thing you have to do is to commit all in. This is all that matters, period. I don't care about anything else. All right. Now, the second thing you want to do is you have to know your numbers. So $1 million, $1 million in sales in your first year means that you need to get $13,000 of new contracts each and every month, because the best thing about the janitorial industry is all of our sales are reoccurring, right? You get a building, they sign a contract for a year, you get that $1,000 if it is every single month. So you have to do $13,000 every single month. And at the end of the year, you are a little bit over $1 million. Now, keep in mind, this does not count for attrition or the buildings that you lose. This is just if you got $13,000 and kept $13,000. Okay. Boom. So you need $13,000 a month. So let's say your average sale is $1,000. That means you need 13 new clients every single month. Now, let's say you only close 20%. So what do I mean by close 20%? I mean, you are not going to go on a walkthrough and get 100% of your walkthroughs. So let's say out of 100 walkthroughs, you only get 20 of them. So the way that works, if you do the math, which is 13 divided by 20, you get 65 walkthroughs a month. So you have to do 65 walkthroughs a month. Okay, now in order to get 65 walkthroughs a month, you probably need to speak to about 90 businesses that are interested. So you need like 90 leads, because every single buddy who's a little bit interested isn't really going to be at the level ready or at the ready place to actually do a walkthrough. There might be a little bit of interest. You've maybe got them excited about it. Next month or in the next 3 to 6 months, they're going to want one. But right now, they're not interested. So you need about 90 leads a month to get 60 of people that are interested, to get 65 walkthroughs, to close 13 new clients, and get $13,000 every single month. So this is what I call reverse math. I took $1 million a year. I did the math down past a year of what it would take. And I've broken it down to, I need to do 3 walkthroughs every single day. And I need to speak to 5 people who are interested. Now, in order to speak to those 5 people that are interested, I might have to call 120 or 150 people, or door knock 100 people. So like, do you see how much work goes into this? Like, you be out from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day knocking on doors. And then at night, you're out setting up the new accounts you're getting. So like, the work is incredible, how much you have to do. So you can get these 90 leads by cold calling, cold emailing, door knocking, Facebook ads, referrals, however you want to do it. Obviously, if you need to have referrals, you have to already have businesses. Like, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I would pick 1 or 2 of the ones that I know work, like cold calling and door knocking and cold emailing. 110%, they work, period. They are like the ones that are duplicatable. Facebook advertising doesn't really work for commercial businesses, or at least I haven't figured it out, and I've spent hundreds of thousands. Google AdWords does work, but it's very inconsistent. Some days I'll get 0, other days I'll get 1. And if I need like 90 a day, it's a lot. The average lead cost for a commercial Google business, it was like $156. The way we do it with our cold calling, it's like $40 a lead. Right? And it generates, $40,000 a month versus, the other. And we get to control it. Okay. So you can choose the way you want to do it, but that is the math. So you need to know the math. It is possible. I've grown by $1 million a year. Like, it is a whole ton of work, but like, you can do it. Oh, I think my camera's a little sideways here. Oh, well, looks like we are dealing with it today. Okay. So those are the things that work, and I know they work because we can control them. But you have to learn how to really sit back and present your product, close the deal, deliver above and beyond what they're expecting, price the job correctly, follow up. Like, there's a lot you have to learn how to do. But like I said, I've grown by the $1 million in a year before. It's just a lot of work. So you need to have a systematizable way of you continuously getting leads, and the numbers and everything I gave you and the tactics I gave you work. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it than just those numbers, but trust me, you can do it. Okay. Then what you need to do is you need to learn how to recruit, train, and motivate staff. Because what's going to happen is, if, let's say, the average employee, husband and wife couple that you have, cleans, I don't know, $3,000 a month worth of contracts, 3, 6, 9, 12. So you have to have 4-ish, probably 5 in a few months, employees, new ones, every single month. And that doesn't even include attrition. So when you're new, you'll probably lose 50% of your people. So you might have to bring on 8 new employees every month. So not only are you going out, door knocking, doing all this stuff at the beginning, but you're having to hire 8 new employees, train them, have them show up to the cleaning, have somebody after a little bit manage them. So like there is a ton that goes into it. So you got to recruit them, train them, motivate them to stay in there and want to show up every single day. Okay. So that's a big one in itself. Next one is understanding cash flow. So most of the time people are like, yeah, I want to grow by $1 million a month. I'm like, great. How much money do you have saved up? And they're like, oh, I got like $5,000. I'm like, okay. So if you want to do it with employees, let's say you grow by $13,000 in contracts. That means every month you have a $6,000 bill for supplies. Plus you're going to have to pay those employees for about 2 months. So you might have